Good morning. Welcome to AprilAngst 2019. My name is Beautiful Banshee. I am here with the fantabulous Loose Change. How you doing this morning?
Well, good morning. I am awake.
Yes.
And slightly coffeeed, so...
Slightly coffeeed, me too.
We'll see how this happens.
Waiting for more.
More.
But most importantly, not only are we ready and awake, but our teams are ready and awake.
Yes.
So our first matchup, WFTDA sanctioned game between Forest City Derby Girls of London, Ontario, currently ranked number 133 in the WFTDA, that's Women's Flat Track Derby Association, if you need to get familiar. And they are coming to us. Now, that ranking fresh off the press from yesterday, though effective March 31st, 2019. We're about to get things started, but we'll introduce you to the team shortly. Let's see what's going on.
All right, so for those Downriver roller dolls out there in blue, we've got number, I believe I saw that was 2-5 with the star, Punchki Bruiser, if my memory serves. And indeed, it is Punchki Bruiser, also known as Donut, picking up that first lead jammer.
And Donut's opposition currently in black for Forest City, that would be Genocide. Still fighting through the pack. Now, Punchki Bruiser fighting it out in the back stretch up against a strong full defense.
Nice
from
hit
Forest
to
City.
that inside there. That was number 27, Candy Payne, recycling.
So current pack advantage to Downriver Dolls.
Punchki picking up 4 points, first 4 on the board.
And we also had a star pass in the interim to 42. That would be Torque on Forest City. Still working it in the pack as they are in turn 1, but taking a big hit from 2, 4, and 9, Booty LeBrute, but Booty LeBrute picks up a forearm call. Torque breaking the pack, though, a quick call off from Punchki Bruiser. 4 points up on that last pass, a total of 12. So first blood drawn by Downriver Dolls. But let's meet the Forest City Derby Girls. Number 17, Low Key, 184 Kicks, 20 Vegas, 27 Candy Payne, 4 Pedro, 42 Torque, who we just saw out there, 5 Lady T, 50 Gemicide, 75 Sociopath, 813 None Ya Business, 87 Siren, 92 Ginger Slaughters, 99 Drop Dead Alice. And Forest City Derby Girls are coached by Chris Potter, also known as Potty Mouth.
Oh, Potty Mouth.
Of Team Canada.
I wonder what happens on the bench sometimes then, if that's what they're known as. Out there with the star, we've got, it looks like that is in.
We have Unleasha snagging lead for Downriver Roller Dolls. And Unleasha's opposition would be Pedro, working things out right around the pivot. No? Still mid-pack? Perhaps. Let's see. 4 points up for Unleasha. Pedro has stashed the star, but pushing it out into turn 2. We have a clockwise block called on number 5, Lady T of Forest City. And bear with us, you may catch a little background noise, but that's all right. It just adds to the derby atmosphere. But plowing through the center of the pack, Unleasha lives up to the name, adding 4 for Downriver Roller Dolls. A little tongue twister first thing in the morning, nothing like it. But thankfully, I just had some coffee delivered, so shout out to Six Tat because she's like the best road trip buddy for that. But have a little bit of an awkward blocker sandwich happening in turn 4, a drawback from Downriver.
Pedro just getting shut down with that last jam. So real quick, while we've got a little 30 seconds, let's run through the Downriver Roller Dolls roster. 249 Booty LeBrute, 30 Barbara Welters, 313 D-Town Diva, 317 Four Leaf Clobber, 390 D Nasty, 4 is Breezy, 427 Mitch B. Trippin, 25 is Punchki Bruiser, 6 Crusher Claire, 67 Jessa Bit Psycho, 7 Cotton Candy Princess, 85 Shira, 86 Auto Control, 92 Unleasha, and 923 Hexen Beast. And Downriver Roller Dolls are coached by Eat Chip and Die and Rec Support.
And lead acquired by Otter Control. That would be in favor of Downriver. And, of course, we've noted, in case you missed it, we do have Downriver in blue, and we have Forest City in black. So some great view right where we are in our nice little announcer perch, where we can see Otter Control working at the front of the pack. However, a quick pick coming in from Downriver's offense, but it appears that Forest City thwarts it with a little bit of speed. Pack is pushed into turn 1. Add 4 points for Otter Control. Drop Dead Alice working the front of the pack midway between turns 1 and 2. Has a 2-wall to contend with, but they are free. Not Lead Jammer, but tenacious as all get out. Jam is called, preventing any scoring from Forest City, so keeping them at 0. And a total of 5 points on the last pass, it appears, which is unusual, though we'll confirm that. But scoreboard shows 33-0 in favor of Downriver.
So that was technically 2 passes because it was 4 the first time.
Yes.
And then they only got past the 1 additional.
Oh, and so it was grouped together. Actually, 2 additional.
Oh,
because we see the 6. That's right, because of the blocker in the box.
Exactly. Ah, those darn blockers in the box.
Gotta love a ghost point. Lead quickly acquired by Downrivers.
That is Barbara Welters picking up that lead jammer. Meanwhile, we've got Gemicide. Oh, my goodness.
Though a truly outrageous exit from the pack, no points for Gemicide. So sad.
I'm so proud of you for making that pun this early in the morning. I couldn't be more delighted.
Oh, well, thank you. I do what I can.
All right. Well, we are about 7 minutes into this first half of our first bout of AprilAngst 2019. Forest City held scoreless still. Downriver currently sitting at 38.
And, of course, we are already just over 7 minutes into the first period. So that says a lot for not only the jammer stable of Downriver, but the defensive efforts as well. And proving that once again, that's Punchki Bruiser. Lead quickly acquired. Now, seeing some line work from Downriver's defense, working from the pack in the backstretch, pushing into turn 3. And we've got a one-on-one with a Downriver pivot up against Pedro, but Pedro eventually breaks free as she had stashed the start exit, knowing lead was not an option. Jam is called. Again, really great at the containment on Downriver's end, as we're seeing jammers just small gains, but really working in their favor.
You know, so both of these, so with the new rankings, both of these teams dropped down a little bit, as one does when, you know, you're playing against teams and trying out new stuff. So Downriver dropped from, you know, 115 down to 125. And, you know, so Forest City's at 133. So both of these teams are really close. They're only 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 spots apart, but it definitely looks like Downriver is trying to make a name for themselves here.
I think Downriver, they ate their Wheaties and had their coffee early, perhaps. Who knows? But we know that it's purely cyclical sometimes, so it could just take a quick shift in strategy from either side, really. So Forest City, we've yet to see any points come to fruition, but after those 2 points from Downriver, it's a 44-0 game in favor of Downriver. And just about 10 minutes into the first period, yet we're only on Jam 7. So I know that they've run long a little bit.
Yeah.
We've just seen a few quick gains the last few jams.
Gemicide out there with a star for Forest City going up against, I believe that is Otter Control for Downriver.
Also, I love like animal pun names, and that's a super cute one. It makes me happy.
Otters are just adorable, so who's not to? How can you not love an otter?
Now, on the other side of that, there is Gemicide working at the front of the pack. Now, both jammers caught up. Lead not yet declared, and the first lead of the game for Forest City. Like I said, you never know. And Gemicide able to make quick work of it. The pack coming to a standstill between turns 3 and 4.
Gemicide able to take that bump from the Downriver blocker. Does not phase her, stays inside.
Gotta love that. Round the outside. It worked.
Yeah.
And a star pass has occurred for Downriver. That's to number 67, just a bit psycho.
Oh, and just like that, Gemicide picking up a total of, is that 7 points? And they are on the board.
Well, lucky jam number 7, yielding 7 points for Forest City. I don't know. It looks good.
You know, it's still early.
It really is. But I enjoy when things link up like that. You don't see that often. But 44-7 still in favor of Downriver. Just under 19 minutes remaining in the period. A full complement of blockers on track. Pedro in with Forest City with the Jammer Star, and they are in black, where Downriver is in blue.
And out there for Downriver is Barbara Welters.
A direction of gameplay call against Black 9-2, Ginger Slaughters, and another one for Forest City, that is number 5, Lady T. So a 4-2 pack advantage currently for Downriver. Let's see how that affects their jammers' decisions.
Well, so Barbara Welters picking up that lead jammer status with that pack disadvantage, only having to clear those last 2 blockers and picking up 4 points. So with that, 4 on the board for this jam here. Barbara Welters going to that inside with 1 blocker to pass. That was low key for Forest City, and pass she does. That is another 4 points. As we are starting to see some of those blockers return from that penalty box. Barbara Welters with another 4.
Now, I'm not sure if keeping track at home or not, but just looking at the selection of how jammers specifically are being fielded, we're observing a tight 4 jammer rotation, which has not changed since game start from Downriver. And Forest City is utilizing a 3 jammer rotation. Same thing, no deviation from it yet. So should be neat to see if they're able to keep that going. A huge jam. I do believe that was the highest scoring jam so far.
Wow, 16.
In the game. Oh, ties to jam number 2 thanks to our producer, Bobby Narco.
Those 16 points that they picked up at the very end there. Forest City had a star pass to low key, just as low key was entering the pack to try to pick up some additional points. Of course, Downriver called it off.
It's like, oh, no, we caught it.
Yep.
No points for you. Okay, on the track, and it appears Punch Key Bruiser pushing it out in turn 1, though the pack was keeping it pretty close right around the pivot line. We have our Forest City pivot in the box, so 4-3 pack advantage for Downriver current. It was a leg block. We don't often, haven't seen many lately, but good to know. Round the outside in the backstretch, 4 points going to Punch Key Bruiser. Meanwhile, fighting it out, we're seeing the tenacious Drop Dead Alice. I do believe there was a warrior cry as they exited around the outside. No points for Forest City on that, but keeping a total of 8 for Downriver, 68-7 in their favor.
We are about halfway through this first half. Just over 15 minutes on the clock. Welcome to Saturday morning roller derby, man. This is...
Yes, hosted by a Penn Jersey roller derby is a wonderful thing to be in this warehouse this morning.
This is such a fabulous warehouse.
It really is. And springing out of the pack, Gemicide acquiring a lead early, but about a quarter lap behind that is Unleasha with a slide out right before turn 4. And
Gemicide picking up a quick 4 points.
Yeah, unanswered because of that quick call off, and that slide out definitely was helpful for Forest City, taking them to 11. Okay. And Bobby Narco has pointed out that Drop Dead Alice has been the only successful jammer as far as points.
Gemicide, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Gemicide, previous jammer. I missed
that.
I
know. There's
Thank
so
you.
many jammers to keep track of.
Jammers here, jammers there, jammers everywhere. And speaking of, that's Gemicide back on the track right now. And oh, first break in the rotation, so little something new.
I mean, when you figure out you have somebody successful like Gemicide who's been able to get through, not only pick up lead, but points as well,
yes.
You know, you definitely want to try to do the best that you can. And of course, as I say that,
our typical announcer curse, as people like to say, a cutting the track penalty assessed to Gemicide, so having a seat in the penalty box here at AprilAngst. Lead acquired, of course, by Otter Control, who's jamming for Downriver. And in the backstretch, coming along with some offense from D Nasty. Making it work. 4 points up. And we have a 3-and-1 lineup ready for that offense, but they send just one as Otter Control hits the back of the line from Forest City and pushes it out into turn 4, quickly calls it off. But all 4 points are acquired.
Both jammers coming in there and just coming up against those tripods of power. One of my favorite iterations so far in roller derby has been the tripod and how agile and quick and fast you can see people like move and flip with it.
Yes.
It's so pretty.
It's fun to do too. I like as a blocker, I thoroughly enjoy being able to rotate within the tripod. But you know, we do what we can to be effective, right? And it proved effective for both teams.
Exactly.
But next jam is on, and that would be jam number 12.
Barbara Welter picking up a quick lead jammer right there. Meanwhile, we've got Pedro out on the track with a star for Forest City.
Forest City's pivot, low-key, off to the penalty box with a low block. 4 points picked up from Barbara Walters. And a clockwise block assessed to the Downriver pivot. Pack moving slowly but surely into the back stretch. No pack called, so that makes it even easier for Barbara Walters to escape on the inside line, putting up 4. Quick regrouping in the back stretch. We have our Forest City jammer number 4, Pedro, being recycled, though pushing it out, coming around the outside. A slight pile up amongst the Downriver blockers. Pack extending out into turn 4 as only a wall of 2 blockers remained for Barbara Walters.
12 points so far Barbara Walters has picked up.
The direction of gameplay seems to be the popular penalty. We're seeing others pepper in, but
you know, we've got a track cut here. low block type thing there. And we have a star pass. Number 17 for Forest City. Loki is now your jammer of note. Ooh, how much you want to make a bet? As soon as Loki tries to make points,
Yes.
Barbara Welters calls it off. It's like I'm psychic, because that's exactly what just happened. Or I knew what strategy they were going to try to utilize.
You're so wise, Elsie.
Right? You know, I'm wise beyond my years. I'm psychic. Think about a number between 1 and 10. 3.
Nope.
Dang it. I know, I'm full of crap.
But at the same time, see what are the fans at home watching, or even if you're in the venue and you're plugged into the broadcast, and what you missed was the awesome expression on Elsie's face. Her eyes, I'm psychic. It's just epic. I might have to snap a photo and meme it later. Well, you know, everybody loves a good derby meme, but at current, we have a team timeout for Forest City, so that'll give us a moment to get you some more details.
So that 16 ties the highest individual game of the game. She ties herself.
316.1.
As I'm eavesdropping on our wonderful producer, Bobby Narco, there have been 3 16-point jams thus far.
Yeah, and 2 of those 16-point jams were from number 30 Barbara Welters on Downriver, and number 92 that I believe
Unleasha.
Unleasha. Okay. Thank you for that, because I looked and we had a typo.
We don't have fully updated numbers, so if we say a wrong number, we apologize.
Sincerely.
Feel free to yell at me on Twitter. I really don't care. At loose change. It's it's at find loose change. So.
Oh, I like it. Hashtag I don't care. But what we do care about is the game in progress. We see a multiplayer block on Vegas for Forest City, the pivot going to the box, and I believe a forearm called on her accompanying blocker. But
while all of those penalties were going on, Punchkey Bruiser picking up lead jammer, and for you that just utilizes that inside line, there's some pack confusion going on, and just a real fast 4 points for Punchkey at that point in time.
And something else of note, Black 42 Torque, first time jamming. Let's see what yielded. A total of 8 points take a Downriver to 100. Nice and even. And Forest City at 11. And we have about 9.5 minutes remaining in the period. And a little team collision there, but some love as they come off the track for Forest City. That was cute.
Torque and Siren sort of collided with one another on turn 1, and then got back up, hugged it out, and giggled the rest of the way back to their benches.
Well, if nothing else, that proves everybody is having fun, because roller derby is fun. And
it is.
Unleasha picking up lead while the pack keeps it just after pivot line and awaiting her, but making extremely quick work just right around the apex. 4 points to her credit. And that would be Drop Dead Alice coming around the outside for Forest City out of the pack.
Drop Dead Alice with a very fancy duck and roll, just almost being able to go under the blocker.
Well, that's using size to your advantage, whether the size is small or tall.
Yep.
Definitely to her credit. I know, a good bean dip, as some would say.
Bean dip?
Yeah, a good little bean dip right around the outside. Or, it could be on the inside, but you dip low.
I like that.
Little bean dip.
Little bean dip. You're my little bean dip.
Something that I find fun, that there's Eat, Chip, and Die who coaches for Downriver Rollers. So I just thought, I was like, oh, chips and dip, bean dip. And then there's Eat, Chip, and Die, though we don't like death with our chips.
I feel like someone from Downriver needs to change their name to Bean Dip now. and
Perhaps.
so you can have an eat chip and bean dip.
Yes, exactly. But back to the game, we have a lead acquired by Downriver's Otter Control, a high block on Shira, so a 4-3 pack advantage for Forest City. And Gemicide is Forest City's jammer of note, swept to the outside in turn 3, but working on, looks like some great tracking from Downriver's pivot, but a pass has occurred on Forest City, but their pivot has the star in hand coming. Oh, pivot on pivot dance moves. Though despite able to break the pack, jam is called. No points for Forest City on that pass. And it was just a bit Psycho doing that one-on-one pivot dance, though goes to the box. So seeing just one blocker on track, or should be. I don't think that Downriver is aware yet, but we can see one blocker standing for Downriver in the box with 2 seated. There we go. Now they're keen. Team timeout called to allow a blocker to exit the box, and perhaps some discussion. Oh no, track maintenance. While we have a team timeout.
All sorts of things happening when we have that team timeout being called.
Bobby Narco just pointed out, great poker hand on the scoreboard, 113-11, 4 aces and a 3. I think that's what you
Okay.
said, 4 aces. Yeah, I don't do poker, but I'm just passing that on. Yeah.
Yay poker.
Yay
Woo!
poker. Yay roller
All right.
derby. Because
If you play poker,
that's awesome.
you know what
and
what we're talking about.
Bobby Narco
I
is a
don't.
wealth of knowledge.
All right. Well, so 6 minutes, 45 seconds remain in this first half. Forest City with 11 hard-fought points going up with Downriver's 113 points. We just heard the not your whistle whistle as this timeout has ended.
Weird. Yeah. I'm looking.
Oh.
Okay.
No pack being called real fast as that one blocker for Downriver heads real quickly to that pivot line, giving Drop Dead Alice an opportunity to pick up that lead jammer.
And Elsie, right before the this jam began, Bobby Narco was just telling me that there were 2 jammers who had 100% on lead. One of them was Barbara Walters, but that just changed due to Drop Dead Alice.
Dun, dun, dun.
So the other jammer on Downriver, so the one jammer who has 100% on lead success is Punchki Bruiser. Yeah.
Yes. Knew it. I mean, when you've got, when you have a jammer that's as fast, effective, and efficient as Punchki, you're going to utilize them.
Most definitely. Just under 6 minutes in the period. So those 4 points up from Forest City took them to 15 to Downriver's 113. And
a little bit of a micro packs happening out there. Only 2 blockers on the track.
Well,
and
the
then
flood of blockers returned right after the whistle. It was
exactly.
great.
And with that, again, Punchki Bruiser keeping that 100% lead jammer status. Picks up.
Working on the awkward blocker sandwich, taking down Pedro to the infield. However, a forearm call up against Downriver's number 390, D Nasty. And again, the squish of the pack in turn 3. A couple more penalties. Looks like a 1 for each side there with the direction of gameplay. We've got a skidder down in the middle of the pack, but looks like they're recovering. And right around the outside, Loki, who took the star, drawn back to turn 3. And on the power jam.
So with Punchki in that penalty box, this will be our first full 2-minute jam.
And we've noticed a pattern as well for Forest City with their star passes. This is the 3rd time Loki has been used as a pivot taking the star. And still working at the back of the pack in turn 4. Got a full staff of Downriver blockers on low-key. Meanwhile, Punchkey Bruiser back at it on the inside line, makes quick work of her return, 4 points. All right, seeing the brakes put on from Downriver, but the ever tenacious low-key keeps working. And we've got some offense on behalf of 813, none ya biz.
First jam where both teams have scored.
(12-3) right now on that last jam in favor of Downriver. That takes Downriver to 125 over 18. A little over 3 minutes remain in the period. And that is 10% of their overall score for Downriver, for those who enjoy the maths of Derby. We see that perhaps the Star Stash, there's a bit of a delay going on with their jammer. And some confusion with the call made by officiating. We'll get more details on that after. But meanwhile, Drop Dead Alice spinning, whirling and twirling into turn 4. Gets taken out, but right back in. And of course, Unleasha with lead picks up 4.
So basically what was going on, if I'm interpreting what I saw, this is my own opinion. I am not an official anymore. The pivot for Forest City was not on the track, and then when the whistle blew, she was actually behind the jammer line, so she was assessed the illegal procedure penalty.
Thank you.
She wasn't totally sure if it was like a do I yield situation or do I go to the box situation. So she tried to re-enter, and they were like, no, you need to go to the box. And then she was like, oh, okay, I'll go to the box.
All I know, because noise level within the venue can echo a bit, I just heard loud noises and confused looks observed amongst the skaters and officials at that moment.
Yep, I mean, we were doing the same thing to one
know,
another. It was like, yeah, right.
That's okay. Now, after that was settled, that was an additional 15-point jam for Downriver, taking them to 141 over Forest City's 18. Jam 19 is on. Otter Control with the star for Downriver. If you're just joining us, they are in blue. And Genocide wearing the star for Forest City in black. And Genocide acquiring the lead. Pack keeping it slow between turns 1 and 2. Multiplayer block assessed. And that was on, I believe, a member of Downriver, though not leaving the track. Jam is called because there was a star pass to Jessipit Psycho.
Yeah, Jessipit Psycho, with first time with the star that we've seen her. Real quick announcement, friends out there on the internets. When this goes to halftime, we're just going to shut down the computer, restart, do some maintenance. We will be back.
Yes.
Don't worry. Don't panic. We're not, like, leaving you forever. We just need to get everything situated on our end, and there will be more roller derby action.
Yes.
I'll tell you that again before we do it, but just forewarning.
And if you'd like to be notified when we're back, make sure on YouTube that you have subscribed to Penn Jersey Roller Derby's YouTube channel, because you'll receive notification every time we go live throughout AprilAngst and any time that PJRD is on YouTube.
Look at you.
Well, you know,
with all the information.
Gotta support all of the local roller derby, especially a high-quality stream brought to you by our friend Keith here at Penn Jersey Roller Derby.
What up,
We are
Keith?
grateful. And back to the jam in progress, Barbara Welters with lead for Downriver. Lots of thrills and spills right in turn 4. In the front stretch, everything working its way out. Pedro able to escape the pack. Barbara Welters getting drawn back to the pivot line, but calls it off.
And with that, we are going to roll into our intermission. 148 to 21.
Yes, in favor of Downriver. And we'll be back within about 15 minutes or so. And like I said, make sure you subscribe on YouTube so you get the notification when we return. And you won't miss a second of our live streaming broadcast here of WFTDA and MRDA action all weekend at AprilAngst 2019. We'll be back shortly.